Hello everyone, welcome back to my Ratchet YouTube channel. Today, I started doing stuff without you guys because I forgot that I wanted to film this. Anyway, filled this bucket with water and then some moss because if we're going to be propagating, which is what we're doing today, we need moss. Because moss is A1 at propagating, and anyone else who tries to tell me that that's not true is bonkers and needs to try moss. And also I would say the key to successfully propagating in moss is to do what I'm about to show you. So first, after soaking your moss for like 5 minutes, kind of getting it all, you know, if you can see what I'm doing. Ugh. Sorry about my laundry basket on the ground there. You can see what I'm doing. It's just like, just getting all the water in there, you know, splashing some around, making sure that it's all saturated really well. And what you want to do after that is kind of take it, especially if you're going to be propagating in a tub where it's going to hold a bunch of moisture, you're going to want to like squeeze it out really well. Just make sure you kind of just really wring it out. Make sure that almost all the moisture is out of it, so then that way when it's in the tub, the plants that are sitting on top of it have a less likely chance of rotting or turning brown or getting any sort of weird spots on them, you know? And usually what I do is a pretty thin layer, like probably about an inch or so. You can see that, maybe a little bit more in there would work. And usually whenever you're done with the moss in the water, you want to dump that out instead of like watering your plants with it or something, because it's in the water for a really long time. Well, this is only kind of 5 minutes, so it doesn't really matter, but I just know on Miss Orchid Girl's channel, she basically explains that like as moss starts like breaking down, the pH of the water can kind of become more acidic. So that's the first one done. It's about, this is comparison with my finger and my ratchet nails. I have 6 of these because I'm trying to start a little propagation station in my window, and it's going to be dual acting because my window doesn't have a curtain on it right now because I don't have a drill or a Dremel or anything. Yeah, you just want to, if you guys can see this at all. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Much better. And throw moss on yourself a little bit too, you know, just feel like you're a plant. Just feel the vibes, feel the plant vibes. I think this piece of sphagnum is still alive. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys could tell, but like the color is kind of different, or it was very close to previously being alive. I think the end of it is still alive. You can kind of tell, like this one has a more like brownish color and this one's like more light green. See, if you can see that. That one looks good too. Another little inch or so of moss. And they're pretty small, but I wanted them to fit on my windowsill and kind of stack them on top of each other because number one, I don't have space in my room, and number two, it gets very direct hot sun there. I know that people say like if you use heat mat under your propagations that they can grow a lot faster. So I just wanted to like experiment and see, because these aren't exactly like clear containers. I know it kind of looks like it, but it's a little bit milky. It'll help dilute the light a little bit, so then that way it's not like either able to burn the plants or giving them just too much light in general. Plus, whenever you're propagating, I noticed that like your plants tend to need a lot more light to be able to root really quickly. And I think the combination of the sun and the warmth will help them root. I probably should just do one box to kind of experiment with it, but you know what? Frick it. Let's just do it. And also, as much as you guys think I might be creating a mess in my room, I always do try to vacuum afterwards. Don't want to be walking around on crunchy stuff. Also, since I have a kitten now, I have to vacuum more often because if she comes in here and tries to eat stuff off the floor, it's just like not a great time for her. If you guys do want to see her, I'll make a video of like introducing her or whatever, even though this is supposed to be like a plant channel. If you guys want to see her, just a little snippet of her in a video or something, giving her a little introduction, I'll definitely do that. I like to break it up as well. Like when it's dried, it usually comes in clumps. I like to break it up so that way after I've prepared the moss, it'll be easier to get the plants in there. I think I'm gonna just like leave these with moss in them in the windowsill for a couple days so I can see how the environment is first before I decide like which plants go in which one or whatever, because then that way I can kind of gauge whether or not it'll be a good environment, with whether or not I want to move them around. Also, that way, like if I have them in the windowsill for a couple days, I can kind of get a sense of how often I'm gonna have to water them, and probably if they're gonna be in the window for a couple days, it'll help to evaporate some of the moisture from the moss, and then that way I don't have to worry about overwatering or having the plants like too moist in there, like in the environment. I always go ahead and dump this in the toilet because then that way it doesn't like really back up all my sink or my shower or anything. But yeah, these fibers are really long, so if you ever wanted to do like a moss ball or something, I think this brand would be really good. I think it's called Super Moss. And make sure you get the sphagnum moss, because some people, I think they, the reviews that I saw on their mountain moss, I think they thought it was going to be sphagnum, but it's definitely not. It's more like decorative. Okay. Okay, so here's how it ended up looking like. I made sure to put the I put the handles up a little bit on top of the container, so that way the lid kind of doesn't sit directly on it, you know, so they can get a little bit of airflow. And yeah, this actually looks really cute, and it's helping block a little bit of the light, like direct light on the plants here, like you can see on this leaf. It's kind of blocking it a little bit. So then that way it can kind of help make sure that my other plants don't get burned, especially like if you can see like that down there. If I move this, it's more direct light. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, that's how it looks. Obavata Splash, Finlaysonii, Parasitica Splash, or Parasitica Heart Splash, and then this one is my tiny little Sigillatus. This one is Mathilde or Mathilde, and then this one is Numerarioides, which is the one that's kind of like fuzzy, which is really nice. Thank you guys so much for watching me set up my propagation boxes. I hope you learned something or enjoyed in any way. And also, I wish you guys a good day or night wherever you are. Subscribe, like, do whatever you want. And that's it for this one. Bye!